Whoa. Okay. Welcome to another episode of Human Design Hotline, where we hang up on doubt and we answer the call within. That is what we're all about here. And I have another beautiful question for us today. This one is all about purpose, and specifically manifesting generators' purpose. So we have a beautiful question from someone called Fernanda, and Fernanda is a manifesting generator. Now, her question is definitely a struggle I hear a lot from manifesting generators. And as a manifesting generator myself, I have learned a lot about this question. I have moved through it, I have experienced it. So I'm completely with you. So stick around if you are a manifesting generator or if you feel like you struggle to define what your purpose is and you keep chopping and changing and you're wondering what it all means, stick around for this episode because we are going to get it uncovered. Okay, so let me read Fernanda's question. Fernanda says, "My question is about relationships and purpose. I feel like I really enjoy doing a lot of stuff, and that can leave me feeling without a purpose sometimes because I do a little bit of everything and it feels like not much at the same time. I also feel, I don't know what to call it, it's like a bliss of enjoying something new and sadness of knowing it will end. Any advice on this? Oh, and lastly, I see myself living in many places. Even though I love that, it feels too scary to take action in this aspect. I don't know if and when I'll start moving everywhere." And on that note, I would say you have come to the right place. One of my friends recently said to me that I was the queen of quantum leaps. And honestly, like this is the way that we have to see it. We have to see life is this beautiful journey that we get to enjoy. And when we aren't enjoying it, we're not moving. Like life is fluid, like life wants to be flowing. And if we are forcing ourselves to be stuck and stagnant in one place, we're not actually out there. We're not actually taking part in it. And this is part of the role of a manifesting generator. Manifesting generators are literally here to be that beacon and almost that like that energy that you observe that literally just dives into life, jumps into the unknown, and follows what they are passionate about. They move, they expand, they literally just like soak up and drink in life. And this is the beauty of manifesting generators. But let's talk about our conditioning around this. Let's talk about how this can be kind of difficult for us and it can be a challenge. Where does that challenge come from? Well, it comes from our friend conditioning. Let's talk about it. So, one of the things that Fernanda asked in her question, and again, I know a lot of manifesting generators are going to resonate with this question or this phrase that she used. She said, "I feel like I really enjoy doing a lot of stuff. And that can leave me feeling without a purpose sometimes because I do a little bit of everything. It feels like I'm not doing much at all." And what I want to remind you of there is there's a saying, and it goes a little something like this: "A jack of all trades is a master of none." And we stop there. I don't know when this happened and when this phrase got so contorted, but like, let's expand into what the full phrase is. A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. Like, that's actually the full phrase. And this is the thing. This is the conditioning that we have as manifesting generators is because I'm doing so many things, I am not going to accomplish anything. My energy is too scattered. But look, like you are built, you are designed to have an energy that can spread into multiple places. And what I want to introduce all my manifesting generators to is something I like to call the invisible thread. And the invisible thread is almost it's this it's this string that goes through all the different things that you do. So for example, say you are I'm going to use myself as an example actually because this has happened in my own life. So for example, for 10 years I was a teacher and I moved around the world doing this job. I was a teacher in Sweden, in Finland, in China, and in Thailand, and that was what I was used to. This was what I did. And when I found human design and I decided to go all in and start my own business, I'd never had a business before. I remember thinking, oh my God, this is so different. This is completely opposite. Like I'm used to working with little kids but what I realized as I moved and I transitioned and I fully embraced the next stage, I realized actually what I did before is actually feeding what I'm doing now. Because a lot of the skills that I acquired in my first career actually help me in this career now. And I haven't just been a teacher, I've done many things. Once upon a time, I was living in Australia and I was doing door to door sales. And I think about that time in my life and how that really served what I'm doing now because I learned about customer connection. I learned about interfacing. I got experience when it comes to sales. And also, this particular job, it was commission based. So I got that experience of having your own business, being in charge of your own income. And so what I'm trying to say is as a manifesting generator, you've got to allow yourself to expand into what feels good to you. If you feel like, okay, I want to try this and I don't know why I want to try it, but there's something within me that is calling out to that, you've got to give yourself the grace to step into that because it's part of the invisible thread. Again, it's important to go with your authority. It's important to listen to what you're responding to, and it's important for you to trust your authority. If your authority is guiding you somewhere, you absolutely should go for it. But if it is coming from a place of this is what I should do, this career is stable and it looks good and it's right and all of those kind of things, then that's another story. But when it comes to you literally feel in your body that you want to expand into a new career, into whatever it is, a new hobby, like trust that what that is going to feed and bring to your life is going to make sense later on. Often as manifesting generators, I always like to say we're kind of like vibrating on future timelines. And what I mean by that is a lot of like the moves that we make, we're going to listen to our gut and a lot of those moves that we are guided towards externally and in reality at the beginning do not make sense. But when you trust them so deeply, reality will catch up and they will make sense later on. So it's important to trust those niggles, trust those things that are, moving you in that direction. Another thing as well, when it comes to being a manifesting generator, we have to reframe how we see variety. Often we see variety as indecision, and that is not from you. That is something that you have been conditioned to believe. That if you are changing your mind constantly, or if you are pivoting and switching things up, you're never going to find success in what you're doing, and this is incorrect. Again, it's like it's part of the invisible thread. And why we kind of move and pivot a lot more than other people is because our energy is faster. We have the fastest engine. We have the biggest engine out of all of the types. So something that could take, a lesson or something that you have to learn through a certain career, a certain pivot, a relationship, whatever it is, something that may take, another type they may stay in that for 2 or 3 years, really like getting what they need from that. Because our energy is so fast, it might take us 6 months. We like move through it quicker and we're ready for the next thing. And so when you start seeing your pivots in that way, you are going to see variety. You're going to see your pivots as an abundant part of your nature. And this is the reframe that we have to make as manifesting generators. It's not like that variety is your source of indecision, that it's, taking you off track from where you have to go in life or any of those things. No, like your variety and need for variety is literally bringing you to living the most abundant life. This, when you start realizing this, your life completely changes and you start to see the way that you are moving in such a different way. And just this mindset shift, it leads you to deeply, deeply trust where your soul, where your body, where your gut is guiding you towards. This is like the T for manifesting generators, trust me. And, for me, I have, as I mentioned, I have moved around a lot in my life. I have changed careers. I've changed all kinds of things. But you know what, the thing that is steady throughout that is my connection to myself. And I think that is so important for manifesting generators. It's so important to just develop such a trust in yourself, a trust in where you're going, that all of these changes, all of this variety in your life, it just feels like abundance. It doesn't feel like indecision. It feels like, oh my God, like this is part of that adventure. And again, for manifesting generators, adventure is key, And so if you are ever feeling like you want to be in something, let's kind of backtrack a little bit. Say there is a career that you're really interested in, that you really love doing, but it's kind of making you feel a bit stuck. This doesn't necessarily mean that you have to completely pivot out of this and move into something else. It can often mean that you need to draw in variety into this space, draw in more freedom. And so, in a career, for example, this is why manifesting generators make incredible entrepreneurs, why they do really well in business, because there is that flexibility to move around. There is that flexibility to switch things up when you have your own business. And many gens thrive on that. It's like your soul needs that freedom of expression, that freedom of creativity, that freedom to move and change things up. And so for many gens, it's like if you aren't feeling that freedom, that's when you're going to feel frustrated. That's when you're going to feel stuck. And so it's really, really important for you to find it in some way. And whether that means that, there is a career, a relationship, or something that is making you feel stuck and frustrated consistently, this is the key, the consistency of that feeling. If that is always making you feel like that, then it's time to completely pivot and move on. But if it is like, if it comes and goes, or it's not all the time, or you don't really want to move on, or, it's asking you to look at it. It's asking you to zoom out and say, okay, what about this is making me frustrated? What about this is making me feel stuck? And allow yourself to change that, to almost, what's the word? To sort of remold is like what I want to say. Is like allow yourself to transform that frustration. Use it as intelligence. Now, let's get back to the question, because I do get a little I'm a many Jan with a completely undefined ajna. I'm going to move about in my questions, but we love this. This is abundance. Um, so really, when it comes to this conditioning, like I spoke about, it's very, very important for you to transform that conditioning. transform it into abundance. Oh my God, I get to live this absolutely abundant life. I get to have variety in my life. And how exciting is that? I want to expand on this question about variety when it comes to Fernanda's chart as well. Because what I really want to touch on is there are so many areas of your chart that are calling for diversity, that are calling for variety. And so I almost feel like your question is asking you to heal your narrative and your story around that. So, how again can you start seeing that as an abundant part of you? How can you start seeing that as, oh my God, you get to bring variety to the table? You get to bring all of this experience. And what does experience turn into? It turns into wisdom. Now, Fernanda is a 6'2", and because Fernanda is only 22, you are in your first phase of the line 6 life. Now, the line 6 life, it operates in 3 phases, and we all kind of go through these phases anyway, but it's almost like intensified in the role of the line 6. And so the first phase, which you are in currently, is we call it like the line 3 phase. So it's all about the trial and error. It's all about literally connecting to experiences, letting yourself explore. And so it's really, really important that in this phase in your life, you're allowing yourself to do that, because that is, again, keep coming back to this invisible thread, but that the experience that you gain in this part of your life is going to feed what's going to happen in the second and third part of your life. It's going to develop into so much wisdom. And trust me, I mean, shall I show you me at 22? I'm a 6'2" as well. I did a reel on this recently, and when I was 22, I was just wild and in the life experience. I was traveling around the world and just meeting new people all the time, and just basically I was just having fun at 22. And I always say it's like a part of my life that I would never go back to, but it definitely fed so much of what I'm doing now. I often talk about how I met so many people from all different countries, all different cultures, all different backgrounds, and this really fed the work that I'm doing right now, because I'm connecting with people all over the world every day. And I have this wisdom that I gained and developed from those experiences that I had from traveling when I was younger. And yeah, so what I want to say to you is, why question this? Why question your need to have variety? There's something Fernanda also said in her question, and it says, I see myself living in many places. Even though I love that, it feels too scary to take action in this aspect. I don't know if and when I'll start moving everywhere. There's a reason that you feel like this, and it's in many, many places in your chart, as I said. So the first one is you're a manifesting generator. You're someone who thrives and loves variety. You are a line 6, and in that line 3 phase where you're excited by diving into experiences and seeing new things and learning through life. And then your most prominent environment is markets. And markets, if we think about like the symbolism of what like a market represents, it's like this diverse place. There's so much going on. There's lots of different people. There's just like things happening. And it's like an experience. So you thrive in those kind of settings and surroundings. So if you are just like keeping yourself stuck and stay in one place, and you're never sort of like going out there and exploring, this is going to sort of like stifle your spirit. And so there's a reason why you feel those callings and you feel like, I feel like I'm going to move everywhere. Yeah, because your soul wants you to, and it's like these visions that we get about our life and these visions that we get about the things that we want to do, they are not a coincidence. They are almost like I say, they're like snapshots from your future self, trying to like let you know, like trying to get you to move in that direction. So the only thing that we have to do as our present selves is listen to those things. Do they feel exciting to you? How can you start moving towards them? How can you start creating action? Not only that, the charts, they never lie, but not only that, um, you have gate 15 in your sun. And our sun gates, specifically our conscious sun gates, are really, really powerful. And they really highlight a lot of purpose. And gate 15, it is all about diversity. It is all about, it's like about, they call it the gate of extremes as well, because it's about like diving into things. And, we call it the love of humanity. And I mean, the love of humanity, it's all about exploring the diversity that humanity has to offer as well. So maybe like later on in life, like I don't know, but maybe there is some sort of purpose in working with people and in, connecting with or creating more equality. Maybe that's something that you think about, and how are you going to develop wisdom in this area? It's going to be by like actually going out and experiencing life. There's a reason you're a 6-2 manifesting generator, gate 15 in the sun. It's like, and markets environment, it's like your soul is calling you to go and have these experiences because they're going to literally elevate you into the wisdom of your purpose, you know? And so I think, I get questions about purpose all the time. And something that I always say about it is we're always looking for purpose, but we're not listening to the breadcrumbs. Your purpose, it doesn't arrive in this like box at your door as like a delivery and it's like, this is what you're here to do. No, we're getting like breadcrumbs all the time, especially, as a manifesting generator, the universe loves to throw generators breadcrumbs. It's like, do you like this? That's your response, So how you respond to those breadcrumbs is indicative of if you're going to move towards that purpose, if that purpose is the one that calls to you. And so allow yourself, you're a sacral manifesting generator. So start listening to your gut, like those things that come into your field and you are like so excited about. Allow yourself to listen to them. Allow yourself to take action on those things. And something else I just felt is like, why are we questioning this? Why do we question these things? And I think it's really important for you to really tap in to that question. Why is it that you're questioning these things? What is it that is stopping you from diving into the unknown? And this is the other thing about listening to your decision making authority is it is your, I say it's your direct line of communication with your future self. So if you're not actually listening to that, you're playing small. You've got to, your decision making authority is actually connecting you to your future. But what we often do, I've done it too, but what we often do is we go with our logic, we go with our mind. And when we are making decisions from our mind, like literally your mind just wants to keep you safe. Your mind is not about expanding because it wants to keep you safe. And the only way that the mind knows how to keep you safe is by guiding you to do the things that you already know. So when opportunities come that are going to call you to dive into the unknown, and this is very, very common with sacral authorities, you could be like, your gut could be doing somersaults and be like so excited. But what we can let that do in that moment is you're excited, but okay, like, you've just got this invitation to move to Dubai, I don't know, and your gut is so excited and it's like, yes, 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 I'm in, I'm in, I'm in. And this is that connection to your future self. But you allow that decision to travel to your mind. And what happens then is your mind starts saying, I've never been there before. I don't know anyone there. What's the currency? What am I going to do? What, all of these things. And that is leading you to miss the magic, miss that connection with your future self. Because again, the mind wants to keep you safe. Your decision making authority wants you to expand. And so it is up to you. You have to start connecting. We all have to start connecting with our decision making authority because it literally is there to expand your life. It is there to move you deeper and closer to your future self. There's so many things that I could say, but I really want to wrap up with this. For you, Fernanda, when it comes to the stage that you're in your life, you've got to adopt this exploration energy. You're in this space, this beautiful, abundant space in life where you're here to start gathering experience. And you don't have to know right now how that is going to feed and fuel your purpose, but you just have to trust that it will. You have to trust that invisible thread. So connecting to your decision making authority, dropping the mind when it comes to decisions, and really trusting your process, trusting it will mean something later on, is where you are going to deeply connect with your purpose. And so have fun with it. This is, as a 6-2 manifesting generator, whew, 22 and 23, they were great years in my life. So I am excited for you. If you enjoyed this episode of Human Design Hotline, be sure to like and follow below. And also, if you have a question that you want to be answered, click the link below and submit it here. And if you want to know more about your own human design, you can click and get your forever human design reading, literally designed to be your forever companion towards alignment, clarity, and just being yourself in life. So you can click the link here and get yours. I have enjoyed this episode. I loved it a lot and I hope you did too. Let's hang up on Dow and listen to the call within. I'll see you next time and have a beautiful day wherever you are.